Welcome, welcome, welcome. Brett Hudson coming to you live from beautiful South Florida. And today is September 17th. Yeah, I said it, September 17th. And listen, this is a great place to connect Monday through Friday at 12 Eastern. I love to read from spiritual books Monday through Friday. Usually read for 10, 15, sometimes 20 minutes, and then open it up to cover what we read to see if somebody may need a prayer. Um, if you're struggling with your purpose, your finances, your health, your marriage, this is a great place to connect. We're a community of, like-minded people. We all love God. And if you want to get connected in our Facebook community, that's abundancewithgodgroup.com, abundancewithgodgroup.com. And you can catch all the replays of the previous books that I've read from, as well as the replays from the current book that I'm reading from, which is Joel Osteen. Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear if you've heard of Joel Osteen. I've been following Joel for, a couple of decades. I love his message. I love his persona. He exudes what we call the fruit of the Spirit, right? Joy, love, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, self-control, right? I don't think I've ever seen Joel Osteen angry, out of control, right? He's always been very spot on with his message, which is always upbeat and positive, and that's why I love reading his book. So the book we're reading is Your Greater is Coming. Discover the path to your bigger, better, and brighter future. We're going to be starting chapter 7 today. So if you want to catch the replays, you can, again, pop into the group, which is abundancewithgodgroup.com. Hey, Lou, welcome, welcome. We'll get this party started. Welcome, Instagrammers, YouTubers, TikTokers. So again, my name's Brett Hudson. I do this Monday through Friday. I read from spiritual books. Usually for 15, 20 minutes, and then open it up for discussion. Right now we're reading Joel Osteen's Your Greater is Coming. Shoot, who doesn't like Joel Osteen, right? He's got an amazing message, and we're going to jump into chapter 7 in about 2 minutes, just waiting for more people to pop on, and then we'll get right into the reading. But look, you're not everybody can be on top of the mountains, right? Sometimes you're in that valley, and when you're in that valley, it can be hard, right? Like I said, if you're struggling with your purpose, your finances, your health, your marriage, being in that valley can be a lonely place. So our community is a great place, again, to connect with people that are going to love on you, maybe point you to scripture that can help you overcome, that struggle you may be having, right? And so, again, the group is abundancewithgodgroup.com. And, we got close to 400 members. And like I said, you can't always be on top of the mountain. When you're in that valley, right, it's great to have people that are, going to be there and support you in a loving way, not in a negative way. They're going to love on you, again, point you to scripture that's going to help you get out of that valley. And that's the good news, right? The good news is you're not going to be in the valley forever, right? Eventually, time and patience, those are the things we don't like, right? Time and patience. We live in a society that wants instant gratification. They want it now. And God doesn't work that way. He works in his timing, which is always the perfect timing. And when you look back at that mosaic called life, when I look at mine, it's like, wow, I didn't see that coming, but it's certainly amazing, better than what I thought. I've been in that valley a lot of times. It's not a fun place to be in. And this is a great place to connect Monday through Friday at 12 Eastern, just to kind of feed your spirit per se. Remember, all of heaven is attracted to Christ in me, right? All of heaven is attracted to Christ in you. God never leaves you in the valley forever. He's going to take you out of that valley, and it's always going to be better than when you entered that valley. There's always a provision or an upgrade per se. I love that. You know, you're going to get an upgrade. You're going to be better than before, right? Kind of like that $6 million man back in the day, right? I'm showing my age, but what's my shirt say? It says Godfidence. Godfidence, which is better than confidence, right? Yep. No worries. God has my back, right? No worries. Turn your worries into worship, right? And so, yeah, we'll jump right into the reading. Before I get into the reading, drop a comment below. I'd love to know where you're chiming in from, what part of the country. If you're outside of the country, I'd love to know. Instagrammers, YouTubers, do the same. And before I start, I always like to read something from the Bible, right? The Bible. And today's verse is Proverbs 3:5. Proverbs 3:5. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Right? God does, we think logical. God doesn't think logical. God puts the super in natural, right? Supernatural. So you just need to trust in the Lord with all your heart. With all your heart. Not a little bit, not halfway, not 3/4 way, all your heart, and lean not, right, on your own understanding. So put your, contempt before investigation, right? So lean not on your own understanding. Know that God is for you. He always works all things for your good, the good and the bad. He's working it all for your good. So we're going to jump into chapter 7. Again, if you're just jumping on to TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube, we're reading Joel Osteen's book, Your Greater is Coming. If you want to catch the replays or the previous books I've read from, our Facebook group, which is abundancewithgodgroup.com. And if you want to follow along in the reading, I'm running a Zoom. You could go to zoom.abundancewithgod.com, zoom.abundancewithgod.com. And so let's just jump right into it. Chapter 7. I love the title. It's all coming together. All coming together. So when we've struggled in an area for a long time, it's easy to think it's never going to work out. Our dream is too big. The medical report is too negative, or our family is too dysfunctional that we don't see how we could ever be restored. As the months go by, sometimes even years, and we don't see anything happening, it's easy to get discouraged and give up on what we're believing for. But just because you don't see anything happening doesn't mean that God isn't working. Behind the scenes, He's arranging things in your favor, lining up the right people, the healing, the promotion, the favor. If you stay in faith at the right time, you will see it come together. What you couldn't make happen on your own, God will make happen for you. Your dream is coming together. Your relationship is coming together. The healing, the promotion, and the vindication will all come together. A friend of mine had been in a legal battle over a business dispute for 6 years. Some people had made false accusations against him, trying to take his company. He knew he was right. He thought the dispute would take 3 or 4 months to clear up, but it dragged on year after year. He's had to fight the thoughts telling him, this is going to make you look bad and ruin your career. It's never going to work out. It's going to bankrupt your business. He could have been discouraged and bitter. Instead, all through the day, he would say, Lord, thank you that you're my vindicator. Thank you that you're fighting my battles. He was saying, in effect, thank you that it's coming together. One day, unexpectedly, the other side called the judge and admitted they had made up the accusations, that it was totally false. The case was dismissed. Suddenly, it all came together. He was vindicated. It may not happen on your timetable, but I can assure you that God is faithful. He's a faithful God. He says in Hebrews 13, I will not in any way fail you. God said it 3 times because he knew how easy it is for us to give up on our dreams, to let our circumstances and how long it's been talk us out of his best. You may have a situation that looks impossible today. You've had some setbacks and the odds are against you. Let me encourage you that it's coming together. God is not going to fail you. The breakthrough is already in your future. That person you've been dreaming about, you're not going to have to find them. They're going to find you. Your relationship is coming together. Don't believe that lie that you have to live your life lonely. That right person has already been ordained to cross your path. Or you may think you can never get out of debt, never live never live in a nice house, never be successful in your career. You may think you've gone as far as your education allows. No, don't talk yourself out of it. It's coming together. Promotion, abundance, and new levels are headed your way. When you go through the day with this expectancy, knowing that God is working behind the scenes and bringing it together, that's what allows God to do great things. You could be complaining, but instead you're saying, Lord, thank you that my healing is coming together. You can do what medicine cannot do, or that business, that dream, that orphanage you've put in my heart. Lord, thank you that the connections, the funding, and the permits are all coming together. Prophecy to what looks dead. In the scripture, the prophet Ezekiel saw a vision of a valley filled with dry bones. It was a huge graveyard with thousands and thousands of bones on the ground. God told Ezekiel to speak to the bones and they would come back to life. He could have thought, that's impossible. They're just disjointed, dried up bones. They can't live. It's too late. But in this vision, he started prophesying to the dead bones. The scripture says there was a noise, a rattling sound, and the bones came together, bone to bone. All at once, these bones joined back in the right places with tendons. Then the organs came, the body tissue, the flesh. Then God breathed life into them, and they stood up like a vast army. The Israelites had been discouraged, living in captivity. They were saying, our bones are dried up. Our hope is gone. We've been cut off. In other words, they were saying, we're just slaves. We're never going to reach our destiny. We're just dead, dry bones. God said, Ezekiel, go tell my people, the sovereign Lord says, I'm about to open up your graves. I'm going to take you back to your land, and you will know that I am the Lord, he was saying. Ezekiel, go tell them what you saw in this vision, that there's about to be a great coming together. What they couldn't make happen on their own, I'm going to supernaturally make happen for them. On your own, your situation may be impossible. The good news is that you're not on your own. You have the most powerful force in the universe on your side. One touch of God's favor can catapult you to a new level. But as with the Israelites, what you have may seem dead. The medical report says you'll never get well. You lost a loved one and you don't see how you can ever be happy again. You've been through some bad breaks. Now all you have are dead bones, disjointed and broken pieces. There's no way in the natural to put it back together. But the sovereign Lord is saying to you what he said to the Israelites. Get ready. There's about to be a great coming together. God is going to bring things to life that you thought were dead. Maybe you have a dream you've given up on, but suddenly the right people show up. Suddenly you get that break you need. Suddenly the funding comes through. Perhaps you've been struggling with an illness for years and you don't think you can ever get well. No, get ready. Health is about to spring forth. God knows how to bring the pieces back together. By faith, I can hear a noise, a rattling sound. It's the sound of a great coming together. I can hear the sound of abundance, the sound of healing, the sound of promotion, the sound of victory. At first part of this vision, God asked Ezekiel, can these dead bones live? Ezekiel could have looked at it in the natural and thought, no way, that's impossible. Instead, he looked away from the circumstances and looked toward God. He said, Sovereign Lord, you alone know. He was saying, God, you control the universe. You have the final say. You're the giver of life. You part Red Seas. You open blind eyes. You stop the sun for Joshua. I may not see a way, but Sovereign Lord, I know you have a way. God said in effect, all right, Ezekiel, that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a doubter, a complainer, or somebody who's going to tell me all the reasons why it's not going to happen. I'm looking for someone like you, someone who's full of faith. I'm looking for people who know all things are possible. God told Ezekiel to prophesy to those dead bones. Whatever looks dead in your life, you need to prophesy victory, prophesy wholeness, prophesy abundance. You may be struggling in your finances. Don't go around talking about how you'll never get ahead, how prices are too high, how you can't afford what you need. If you have a poor mouth, you're going to have a poor life. Dare to prophesy the promise of Deuteronomy 28. I am the head and not the tail. Whatever I touch will prosper and succeed. Maybe you're up against a big obstacle. Don't talk about how big your problem is. Talk about how big your God is. Dare to prophesy to that sickness. Cancer, you can't defeat me. I'm a child of the Most High God. If your son is off course, don't call your friends and talk about how bad he is, how he's going to give you a nervous breakdown, how he keeps running with the wrong crowd. No, prophesy. My son will fulfill his destiny. I'm calling out his seeds of greatness. No weapon formed against my family will ever prosper. When you get into agreement with God, when you speak life and faith and favor and health, you're going to see a great coming together. Suddenly, you'll get that break you need. Suddenly, your business will turn around. Suddenly, your health will improve. God will do for you what you couldn't do for yourself. So we'll stop there. Great value in that couple of pages. I hope you guys got some great value as well. Drop a comment what you like best from today's reading. Again, if you're coming on a little later on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube, my name's Brett Hudson. I like to read from spiritual books Monday through Friday at 12 Eastern. Same bat channel, same bat time. If you want to catch the replays, as well as the previous chapters from the current book we're reading, which is Joel Osteen's Your Greater is Coming. What a ton of great value in the first 6 chapters. We just started chapter 7 today. So again, listen, if you're in that valley and you're struggling with your purpose, your finances, your health, your marriage, again, this is a great place to connect Monday through Friday at 12 Eastern. What's my shirt say? It says, Godfidence. It's better than confidence, right? No worries. God has my back. God has your back. Absolutely. God is for you. He's not against you. He works all things for your good. And yeah, our Facebook community is a great place to connect with other God-loving people, which is abundancewithgodgroup.com. The group is where you can catch the replays, connect with other like-minded individuals who love God. At one time or another, everybody goes through that valley, right? It's either a lesson or a blessing. Sometimes it takes more time, but God hears your prayers. God absolutely hears your prayers, okay? And yeah, so let's just recap what I read. And I like the title. It's Coming Together, right? Just right out the gate was a great title. And, I will not in any way fail you. He said it 3 times. I will not fail you. How powerful is that? Getting to go through life knowing that God said that 3 times, not for me, for you, right? For you and me. Right? When you go through the day with this expectancy, knowing that God is working behind the scenes and bringing it together, that's what allowed God to do great things, right? Can't we in previous chapters, we read that the windshield, right, is so that you could see out in front of you, in the rearview mirror is designed to look behind you, and it's much smaller, right? Because what's behind you is far less than what's out in front of you. God's going to bring things to life that you thought were dead. I like the analogy of the dead bones, bringing the dead bones back to life, right? And God is breathing life into you, right? He's going to breathe life into that dream that you thought was dead. And if you have a poor mouth, you're going to have a poor life. You got to speak You got to speak from the heart. You got to speak. Don't speak from what you're thinking, right? Most of the time, what you're thinking is fear based. It's false evidence appearing real, right? Faith over fear. And when you get into agreement with God, you speak life and faith and favor and health, you're going to see a great coming together. So we'll jump into part 2 of this chapter 7 tomorrow. Hope you guys got some great value. Be blessed. Remember, each day you have a choice. You have a choice. Each morning, you can take the psychopath or you can take that spiritual path. Now, I've been down that psychopath, and that's not a fun path to go on. That's when you take your will back, right? Takes longer, it's harder, bumpier. Nobody, you cry over a broken shoelace, right? Leaves in the swimming pool, everything's drama, right? That's taking your will back, the psychopath. You go down the spiritual path, like starting off in your knees in the morning, plugging into a call like this at noon, getting on your knees in the evening, right? And turning it over to God. Let go, let God, right? I can't, he can, so let him. Why not? That's why I got wine behind me. Why not? Why not, right? Anyways, you guys be blessed. Have a great day, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time, and bye for now.